guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Neha and I make videos related to books, and welcome to a book recommendation video. So yeah, if you've seen the title already, today I would like to recommend some books from one of my favorite genres of all time, which is historical fiction. Now these are not my all-time favorite historical fiction. I already have a few YouTube shorts on a few books which are some of my all-time favorite historical fiction, so do check them out. But these are more the books that I've read recently and I've really loved, and yeah, why I would recommend those to you. But before that, I just wanted to talk about what I would classify as historical fiction. So for me, anything that is set in a period before the period that we are living in, and also written by an author who is not from that period. So for example, if someone is writing in the 90s but they're writing a book on World War II, I would classify that as historical fiction. Now historical fiction is not one genre, it encompasses a whole lot of subgenre. You can have romantasy, you can have romance, you can have mystery, you can have fantasy, you can have so many subgenres within historical fiction as well, and which is why that is one of my favorite genres. I just love reading books which take me back in time, which set me in places and in eras which I will probably never experience, and it gives me perspective, it gives me culture, it gives me so much history, and I just feel like it is one of the best things to take from fiction. Like, you get entertainment as well, but you also get some context and you get history, and you're overall left with by this feeling of, you know, having learned something. So I think that's why this is my favorite genre. And yeah, I think that's enough babbling. I don't know where my physical books have gone of the books that I would like to recommend to you. I just have one with me, but so sorry I can't hold up books. But the first one I do, this is Trust by Hernan Diaz. This is the winner of the Pulitzer Prize last year, and that's when I picked it up as well. Now this is such an interesting story. So it's a story about a story about a story about a story, and that's all. I would like to leave it at that, but yeah, that's not how book recommendations go. So it's basically set in the 1920s in New York. So, and it's divided into 4 different parts. Now the first part is a serialized novel which comes out in a magazine, and it takes New York society by storm. It's about this businessman who makes his fortune right after the stock market crashed, basically profiting off the ill fortune of others, and the impact that it has on his wife, and what tragic thing that happens to her. Now this is supposed to be fiction, but it turns out to be based on a businessman whose name is Andrew Bevel, and when he reads it, he is outraged, especially at the portrayal of his wife. So he tasks a biographer to actually write a biography on his wife, and that is part 2 and part 3 and part 4. Now the biographer is not really told, it gets the feeling that she's not really told the truth about what happens to this wife, and she gets really intrigued by this person, and that is basically the basis of the story. I think that's all the gist that you should know before reading into this book. But genuinely, these are 4 different POVs. They're 4 different narratives, of course in the same setting, and it's a very overlapping 4 stories, but they're so well done. Like in the first one, you're not really sure what's happening, but then you start to piece things together in the third and the fourth one, and by then you're genuinely enjoying the ride. It's a story about money. It's a story about the powerful corrupting and addictive influence of it, especially if you're someone into financial markets and so on, and you like stories about the greed of humankind and corporates and capitalists and all that. You will really enjoy this book. The pace, the intrigue, the setting, it is just so well done. Like, it gives you a feel for that era, you know, right after the stock market crash, what people are going through, how there were a few people who made their fortunes and all of that. It gives you a feel for it, and I genuinely really enjoyed this book. So do check it out. This is Trust by Hernan Diaz. Then the next book that I would like to recommend to you is Wandering Souls by Cecile Pin. I heard this on audio, but genuinely I think this is a book that you should read in a physical form. Now this is an immigrant story. This is about a Vietnamese family who decide to leave their country right after the war, and they want to seek asylum to the US. So they divide themselves into 2 boats, and they sail towards Hong Kong. Now unfortunately, one boat does not make it, and the boat that does make it has the 3 oldest siblings. In Hong Kong, they're denied asylum to the US, and they eventually make their way to the UK, where it is the Thatcher era, and they struggle to get their feet on the ground and establish a life for themselves. The story is told from 3 different POVs. One is of the older siblings who have made it to the UK, and their struggles. The second is of their younger brother called Dao, who dies at sea and basically comes back as like a ghost to see what his siblings are doing on Earth. And then the third POV is kind of like this meta narration of a reporter slash historian who basically writes about the political and the cultural and the historical context to what is actually going on with the siblings in the UK at that point of time. This book is so well researched. Like, I heard about so many things for the first time in this book about the immigrants' experience in the US, in the UK, right after the Vietnamese War, the horrors that they had to go through while during their journey from Vietnam to these countries. And I was so touched, and this book is so poignantly written also, because you get this political context from this third POV, but you're also following these siblings who are going through so much. Like, they're just kids, genuinely, because the oldest sister, I think she's around 16-17 when they land in the UK, and she has to go through her grief and also take care of her brothers, like literally take care, like get food on the table, send them to school, kind of take care. So it is just so beautifully done. The three different POVs, sometimes you would assume that it gets very muddled, but in this book it is really not, because while you're reading about the context of what happens politically, like the Thatcher era first puts out the statement that all immigrants are welcome, but then their policies don't really reflect that. You see that with what happens to the siblings in real time in their POV, but then you're also told about like how years later declassified letters tells how the regime actually felt towards immigrants and called them the boat people and so on and so forth. So it is just such an enlightening, enriching book. I would highly recommend you to check it out to get a feel of what things were in that era. And yeah, I think that's the beauty of historical fiction also. So yeah, check it. The next book that I would like to recommend to you is The Education of Yuri by Jerry Pinto. This is a Bombay book. This is a Bombay book from the 80s, and it follows the life of Yuri, who is this orphan who's brought up by his uncle in like this semi-religious, semi-educational setup. And the story starts from when he enters college. He starts college in Elphinstone College, which is a really famous college here in Bombay, and it follows 5 years of his life in that college. So it's a coming-of-age novel as we follow Yuri in how he discovers himself, he discovers friends, he discovers movies, he dabbles in Naxalism in some point. So it's a coming of age of in Bombay. So if you are from Mumbai, or if you grew up here, or even if you feel like this city really raised you and showed you what you are, this book is for you. It just makes you fall in love with the city once again. It reminds you of all the times that you were lost, confused when you reached the city, but the city kind of shows you things and you grow up in this, and then just the vibe of this city is captured so beautifully in this book. I absolutely loved it. And it's also genuinely, you don't really need to be from Mumbai to enjoy this, because ultimately at the base of it is a coming of age story. So it reminds you of a simpler time when you have no adult responsibilities, when you are just in college studying, you're figuring out life for your own, you're discovering your favorite books, your favorite movies, you are discovering friends, you're finding your people, and in a sense you're finding yourself. It puts you in that nostalgic mood, and that's why I think this book is so well done. Jerry Pinto for Litfic is just so good. And yeah, if you want a glimpse into how Mumbai was in the 80s, this is just an excellent portrayal, and it gives you a feel of the city, all the things that are happening at this time, because it's not a politically calm time either. There are a lot of things happening, so it gives you a very good context to it. So absolutely do check out An Education of Yuri by Jerry Pinto, and highly recommend it. Then the last book that I would like to recommend to you is Paradise by Toni Morrison. This is not a standalone recommendation by any means. A lot of people have read and loved this book, and I just want to add to the discourse. This is set in the 1970s in the US, and it focuses on this all-black town called Ruby. Now, Ruby is set up because of the founders experiencing racism, and so they decide to set up like this haven of equality and where black people can live in peace and live like human beings essentially. However, the town Ruby ends up having really strict hierarchies of righteousness, and also about how people are supposed to behave versus how they're not supposed to behave. And the book actually opens with this convent. Now this convent is filled with fallen women, like women who have acted against what society tells them to do, and they are brutally attacked and killed by the residents of Ruby. And so the book starts at a very horrific place, and then the story unravels on how Ruby was set up, how the founders feel, how it ends up being the place that it is, and you just follow about what happens and how eventually this horrific crime happens. What I really loved about this book is, firstly, it is so beautifully written, like all Toni Morrison books. Like, it's absolutely heartbreaking, but it's also so beautifully written. Like, you don't want to read it because there's so much trauma in it, there's so much pain in it, but it is just, the language is so beautiful and lyrical that you just keep reading. Like, if you enjoy language, if you enjoy prose, this book is for you, definitely. And also, if you to give context about, you know, these all black towns which spring up in the 70s, this is an excellent book. Now usually books about racism are about, you know, how white people treat black people, but this book focuses on how colorism, on how misogyny, on how status really affects people in marginalized communities as well. Like, even in this community, which has been ostracized by so many people, you have this divide between the people who believe that they're higher than, you know, the rest of them, and then the lower rung people. So this book portrays that so beautifully. Like, the hierarchies are so vividly painted that you just can't stop reading. So absolutely love this book. Do check it out if you haven't already, and generally just read all of Toni Morrison. I've read 2 of her books so far. I've read Bluest Eye and I've read Paradise, and I am very much looking forward to reading her rest. I have Beloved on the shelf right here, and I am going to get to it very soon. So yeah, I think that's all. Those are all the book recommendations on historical fiction that I would absolutely urge you to read. And these are more like recent. Paradise also, I know it's not a recent book as such, but I've read it recently, so that's why I'm recommending it to you. I hope you enjoyed this short, sweet video, hopefully, and I will be back very soon. If you've read any of these books, if you have more historical fiction books that you would like me to read and for me to fall in love with, please let me know. Like I said, this is one of my favorite genres of all time. So yeah, I think that's enough babbling. Thank you so much for watching if you're still here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.